On April 1st, Adrullan Online Adventures ran a community alpha test that I got to participate in. And before I go any further, developers would like me to remind you that everything you're about to see is from an early alpha systems test and does not represent the final product. Adrullan Online Adventures, which I will refer to as AOA from here on out because I don't like saying drool, is a cozy, nostalgic, voxel-based MMORPG. I had to Google voxel-based. It basically means the world is made out of little 3D cubes instead of smooth polygons. So this is EverQuest wearing a Minecraft suit, which is extra funny because the game used to be called EverCraft. They changed the name to distance themselves from Minecraft. How's that going, boys? And here's the thing. Younger me loved both those games, just not at the same time. And let's just get this out of the way. The graphics and I, we had a situation.
It's nice to mole you. Meet you. Nice to meet you, mole. Don't say mole.
Stop.
I said mole.
Stop.
Bye, mole. Mole.
Because the moment I logged in, I could not stop thinking the obvious. Like, I've built that house before. Oak, planks, stripped logs, yeah, I can make that. Or I've made that lantern. Torch, 8 iron nuggets, combine. So naturally my brain goes, give me a pickaxe, I got holes to dig. Nope, they handed me a note and told me to go find my trainer. And I had to accept the reality that this is not Minecraft. This is something else. And I struggled with that more than I expected. Because the entire time I'm trying to take this game seriously, my brain is going, this is a Kidz Bop version of EverQuest. Same song, censored lyrics, and the singer has not hit puberty yet. Now I tried really hard not to let the graphics derail the experience. So let's focus up, because the gameplay, that's where old school design meets a few interesting quality of life concessions. They actually give you a pretty generous character creator. There's 8 character slots, 16 classes depending on the race, multiple race options, though not all were available, which is unfortunate because I judge every MMO by its dwarves. But dwarves were not yet available, so I started with a dryad druid. I don't feel like dryads are a very common race in MMOs, so I enjoyed that unique offering. The customization was fine. I did feel slightly ridiculous, deciding how I wanted my blocky pixels to look. Do I want the 6-pixel lip, or do I go for injections and get the 8-pixel upgrade? Okay, let's talk gameplay. Now here's where AOA starts to separate itself. It leans hard into old-school MMO systems. We're talking text-based NPC interactions, vague maps, and interpretative questing. But AOA does something interesting. For the text-based interactions, it highlights the words you're supposed to type, which raises a very important question. If you're gonna tell me exactly what to type, then why am I typing it? This feels like a teacher handing me the answers to a test and then making me fill in the bubbles anyway. Like, what are we verifying here? That I have fingers? Either commit to the system or let me click the thing. There is a map, but it doesn't show you where you are, so it's basically a decorative suggestion. A vague gesture of possibility, which sure adds to the immersion, but it also adds confusion. And listen, maps were invented around 2500 BC. Lanterns, 200 BC. Do the timeline math. Maps came first. If you want exploration to feel earned, make me earn the map. Make it a quest. Make it expensive. Make me work for it. But don't hand me a map that looks like bad art and think you're doing me any kind of service. I kept comparing this to Monsters and Memories while playing, because both games are chasing that old school design philosophy, but they do approach it differently. Monsters and Memories feels like it wants you to waste your entire day. AOA feels like it respects your time, at least a little. It still has slow systems, but it gives you small concessions, little olive branches, and honestly, it makes a big difference. I played 3 characters and had 3 very different experiences. That dryad I told you about, she started in Greenwood Clover. That was a dark, wooded zone. It wasn't very crowded, but there weren't a lot of mobs either. It took a little over 30 minutes to hit level 2, which felt slow, but also very old school. Next, I tried a human paladin, and he started in the city of Leont. This was a bright, open city zone packed with players. It was overcrowded. There were tons of mobs, though. I got level 2 in 12 minutes. 12 minutes. This man was out there two-shotting mobs like he had something to prove. I don't know if that's balance, but it felt illegal. Last, I started an Ashkin summoner. She also started in Leont, and then that's where everything fell apart. It was the same city, the same overcrowding. I was just given a different starter quest. It was the water elemental quest. Those mobs were rare and overcamped, and I hated this experience. I saw 0 progress. I didn't even make it to level 2. And if I had started with this character, this entire review would sound very different. Overall, I had a good experience. Gameplay-wise, I prefer AOA over Monsters and Memories. But visually, I can't even, no. I don't even know what to say. I can't take voxel characters seriously. I can roleplay a dwarf. I can be a short, hairy man with a rich backstory. But I will never be square-face pixel body. That's where the immersion breaks for me. Now let's talk about old school, because I am so tired of that phrase. If one more MMO markets itself as old school, I'm going to start mailing out the sources. Why is everything old school now? I don't think this resurgence is about game design. It's got to be about player base. When EverQuest launched in 1999, most players were in their 20s and 30s. Do the math. Those players are now in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And something changes at that stage of life. You have more time, and not just a little time. You have the kind of time that these games have always asked for. Back then, 25 years ago, players wanted to play this way, but they couldn't. Now they can. So I don't think old school MMOs suddenly became appealing. I think the player base finally grew into them. And I don't even think it's about socialization. Screw group play. It's not about needing people. It's about not being rushed. There's no pressure, there's no urgency, no optimization treadmill. You just log in. Maybe you make progress, maybe you don't. And that's fine. So yeah, old school MMOs might be having a moment, but I don't think the industry changed. I think the players did. And I'm in a weird place. I was on the young side of the EverQuest WoW explosion. I got to play it, but I also had a curfew. Now I'm a grown-ass woman and I have no curfew. But my grown-ass does have to be at work at 8 a.m., so we've just traded one problem for another. Until next time, keep exploring. I'll see you in the next world. Mole. Moleymoleymolemole.
Moleymoleymolemole.